Welcome to the Screen Time Continuum. It is a marvelous Wednesday. My name is Keelan, and I am here with the fellas. What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Hey,
Oh, wait.
Just
What's going on, Nick? Just realized I said fellas. Like, yeah, got to make sure I say their names. I said my name. Nick, how you
doing
doing?
okay? All right, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Just, I guess I'm a little scattered over here. I don't know, but
It's
I,
all
I
right.
thought I was doing well.
Yeah.
Mike, how
all
you doing,
righty.
man? How you feeling? Oh,
I'm
you
doing
know what?
good.
This shit feels planned. Never mind. You guys are just you guys just want my
Man.
intro to go bad. I know it.
Yeah, we're sabotaging it.
You got me.
But no, Mike, sorry about that. How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm just trying to make it through the day.
I mean, well, we've made it to the night, so you've done pretty well, my young man.
Well, thank you for that. It's nice to be called young once in a while.
Hey, I thought we all
Get off
I
my
thought I
lawn.
thought we all also appreciated that. I know I appreciate it. So I figured I'd pass that
For,
kind of
su-
energy around. Pass that
for
energy
sure.
around.
For sure.
With that being said, we are here today to review the 2022 film entitled The House. The House is currently showing on Netflix. It has various casts, so I actually won't be giving the cast this evening. The House is comprised of three different, I guess we can call them acts and
Vignettes.
vignettes. There you go.
Mhm.
And they are directed by Emma DeSwaif, Nikki Lindroth von Bar, Paloma Beza, and also on Google, I see another director as Mark James Rolls. It is also done by Nexus Studios and Netflix Animation, which are the production companies, and it is the screenplay by Inda Walsh. Google's description goes, The House is a 2022 British animation stop motion animated anthology film written by Inda Walsh and telling different stories, forming a trilogy spanning different worlds and characters, but set inside the same house. Each story deals with the themes of madness, wealth, and the pursuit of true happiness. It was released January 14th of 2022. And with that being said, that is all we have for your intro. There is no spoiler warning needed because this literally came out a year and a half ago at this point. So, with that being said, what are our first impressions? What our first impressions should be is Keelan's grammar is very bad tonight.
You just need to get warmed up, man. You're good. Don't worry about it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
So,
I,
first impressions, guys. What you thinking? Who wants to go first?
did you know
Oh,
Helena Bonham Carter was in this?
no, but I'm not surprised. This is her tempo. Um,
I
I
was.
also want to mention that Rotten Tomatoes gave this a 97, Nick. So we know.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a
So
good thing or a bad thing? Because I don't know what that
it's a
means.
purchase thing.
Oh. Oh,
A
so they lied.
97%, bro.
97.
I don't know what that means. 97% bad.
You ever
97% out of 100.
right? Think
Yeah,
of
bad.
think of
That's a
Rotten.
9.7 out of 10.
97% of nobody is voting on the same anything ever.
Yeah, this movie's pretty bad. So.
How dare you, my good sir?
Mhm.
Tis of thee. Tis of thee.
Don't you wish that evil on me, Ricky Bobby?
My bad. Go ahead.
Nah, that was Ayla's comment.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm missing comments. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, she said
Don't you
that.
put that evil on me.
I mean, sorry.
Sorry.
Hey, we all got to apologize for at least one once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Once in a while.
It's true.
Once in a while.
Hey, I had a string of them. I can't even front. Project Legion. I still can't live that one down.
He said, I still got the chill. I swear it sounded like you was about to say, I still got the shakes from that one.
Man, look. That's the worst rated movie we've ever watched.
That one was pretty bad, but this one might be a runner-up. So You know.
I think we got the first impressions.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah, man. This oof, I did not like this. I don't know why I didn't like it. I mean, I guess I do know why, but man, I really hated it. I think
It's overwhelmingly.
oh, it's so
It's a lot to
disgusting.
dislike.
Mhm.
It's grotesque. That's
Yes.
all I kept saying in my head. Like, this is grotesque. And yeah, that's what the animation style gives me is
Mhm.
grotesque, and I don't find that impressive. I think that the stories of the vignettes are rather weak. I think that a lot of people are sort of adulating the stop motion, which I don't understand. But even if you were to say that you like this style of stop motion, the movie or the vignettes themselves as stories are incredibly weak. They're disjointed. They're not even really in the same universe. They claim that it's in the same house, but the house looks different each time, and
Is
it's
it?
it doesn't feel
Not
that
really.
way. No, it doesn't feel that way. And yeah, if you can get past the disgusting stop motion animation, then you're left wanting with the actual stories here. And each vignette is about 30 minutes, so of course you're not going to be able to get a fully fleshed out idea. But there are so many things that do small vignette stories very well. I'm thinking like things like Love, Death, Robots. Love,
Mhm.
Death, Robots, I think it was only like 17 minutes a piece, and they can make complete stories that you sort of like really get into. I didn't get into any of these stories, and I found myself very put off by some of the alleged messaging behind a lot of this, because a lot of this is very anti-materialist. There's some climate change stuff. There's some just veiled metaphors about consumerism that feel like they're so passe that you roll your eyes if they were more overt. And yeah, I just didn't enjoy it. Just didn't enjoy it.
You
So
didn't like hearing people say things were plebeian?
plebeian, yeah.
Who made that popular? They need to be beaten.
Well, I mean, to be honest, it does definitely feel like it's made by a sort of upper crust aristocracy that's commenting on the hoi polloi.
Right.
Um,
Well, keep in
in a
mind
ma-
it's British.
I mean, yeah, of course. But yeah, it does feel like the politics of it is sort of condescending, and that never works for me. It
Mhm.
just doesn't
Yeah.
work.
Granted.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. It's been a while since you gave such a detailed first impressions. So yeah,
Yes.
I mean, you guys think I chose the wrong one, but did I?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Did
True.
I? Yeah, I'm not gonna say I per se hate it as much as it comes off that you guys do. I don't think you guys hate it as much as you think you do, but we'll see as we talk about it. I'm not saying that you like it, but what I mean is I think there's more to discuss than just we hate it. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't actually hate it. I just didn't like it.
No, I get it. I get it. That's what I think. There's layers. Like you didn't like
Yeah.
it. Nick hated it.
Mhm.
I didn't not like it. Honestly, like
Really?
I was surprised at first. A few things. So watching this, I didn't expect to like the animation at any point. Like I expect to be absolutely disgusted by the animation. So that never bothered me through the entire movie because I was like, I expected it to be, what the way I kept saying it in my head, I wasn't even thinking about it as stop motion animation. I just kept thinking it's animated puppets. That's it. That's all I
I
kept thinking in
kept
my head.
thinking it was a terrible Wallace and Gromit
There you
ripoff.
go. There you go. Right in that ballpark. It's just like, okay, I see what you tried, but you didn't go well. Like if you use the Burton Ernie scale for every single character, there you go.
And if you made the Wallace and Gromit out of fucking pocket lint
Yeah.
and gave them grotesque, like features.
Right. But
Yeah.
Well,
knowing
only
that
the
it was a
people had the
British,
grotesque features, though.
True.
Truthfully,
right.
True.
And knowing that it was British, when I first saw it, the trailer, I immediately was like, okay, this is gonna be like one of those creepy type of movies.
Yeah.
I didn't
That's what I
expect it.
thought.
Yeah. I was thinking this is gonna be kind of creepy, kind of weird, gross, nasty. It hit all of those points. Like,
Did it? It did?
oh, unnecessarily, yes,
Huh.
but not necessarily in the ways you may think. Like, it's
Okay.
not gross and nasty just in the sense of like say Jay and Silent Bob might do something overtly nasty.
No, I get what you mean, but
Yeah.
see, for me, the only story in the whole thing that I found really interesting was the second one, and we'll get into that shortly. But
Mhm, mhm.
that's the only one I found interesting, only because I was so confused. And then the third one was even more confusing because at first I thought it was one thing, and then I thought it was something else, and then I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, so I'm over it. And then the first one was like,
That's it.
Right. The first one really was like, that's it. So here's the deal. I think that this movie tries to speak to a particular group of people, but it tries to, like, kind of like what Nick alluded to, it tries to be so artsy about it. And this is still really how I feel my first impressions. I think it tries to be so artsy about it that the meaning and the thought gets lost. So you kind of have to try to home back to this central, remember, it's about the house. Remember, it's about the house.
I
But then
didn't
there's
even
nothing
realize
about the
that.
house. Say it again.
I didn't even realize that.
Well, because there's nothing about any of the stories or about the house itself that makes you honestly think back to the house other than the name of this movie is The House.
And you know what? The only one that really references that makes anything about a house kind of special was the first one. And then the rest of it just made me think, okay, so this whole thing's about remodeling homes.
Well, the third one didn't even mention that I remember, at least, the one string that was consistent through this entire movie, which was the name of the lane and the person who sold and created the first house. But that's not a part of my first impression. So,
Huh.
um, but yeah, as far as just how I feel about the movie and the overall, a general first take on it, I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. I actually thought I was just gonna blatantly dislike this and move on from it. I am still gonna move on from it. There will be no doubling back. However, um, I feel like there's more to talk about than I thought there would have been. We have a comment from Ayla here. Ayla says, "I feel like it was the equivalent of a circle of cameras hanging.
Circle on.
Canvas.
A circle on canvas, hanging in a gallery with the lengthy description next to it. But I did like the big dance. The shimmy moment was the highlight. That's funny. But I get you. I can understand that. I would say there's only two moments in this movie that really take highlight in general. And the dance thing was definitely one of them. And the second or the last thing would be the fruition of the third act. But yeah. So a minute ago, I pretty much wrapped up my final impressions. First impression, excuse me. Because again, for the first impressions, I think it's as simple as I like it, I don't like it. This isn't something that has too much detail to it. There is nothing to be impressed by, especially when it comes to the visual or the animated effects. Something I actually thought was interesting. You guys realize there's only 2 songs in this entire movie?
There's songs?
Yeah. There's
There's
only
an
2 of them.
NERD song.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right. That's right. There was he played lap dance.
Lap
Yeah.
dance, yep.
Yeah.
So the NERD song and then the song at the credits are the only 2 songs in this entire movie.
Yeah.
That's probably
I
because
think
it's
that's notable
expensive.
because that's not normal. Usually you have a movie this long and you have like 10, 20 different references for song just because they had to put them in there because they were trying to do the normal thing. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
that song took me back to high school.
oh yeah.
Oh man, don't say that. I was well out of high school.
Damn.
It's all right there, Grandpa. You still enjoyed the song.
Get off my lawn.
See, he was just calling you a young man earlier. Now,
Right.
Hey, he did it. He did it to himself. I didn't. That's not me. I apologize. But so let's get this ball rolling. So again, the movie The House is comprised of 3 acts. Act 1 is titled "And Heard Within a Lie Spun." Act 2 is titled "Then Lost is Truth That." Oh, in Lost, the then Lost. Sorry, I wrote on two different lines, so I had to put it together in my head. Then Lost is the truth that can't be won. That's what it is. Act 2 is called Then Lost is the Truth That Can't Be Won. And Act 3 is called Listen Again and Seek the Sun. Listen again and seek the sun.
What do those even reference to?
Nothing.
Damn
It's
thing.
artsy bullshit, like Ayla said,
So is it-
putting a circle on a canvas and saying that it means something.
Okay, because honestly, I was starting to wonder, was this movie so smart that I'm too stupid to understand?
That's what it wants you to think.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's so stupid that you're too smart to understand. I agree.
Sometimes in my old age, man, I be thinking maybe I'm just too old and stupid to get these newfangled movies. And then I
think to
gotta grab
myself,
my.
No, it is the children that are wrong.
It's the children that are wrong. And you know the cold thing? I understand this movie. I'm just trying to find the point. Like I know what they.
Oh, so you finna educate me because I don't get it.
What's the title of the movie?
The House.
That's the point. All the perils of the house.
Of home ownership.
That's all this movie is about. Home ownership.
And
What do you go
consumerism?
And yeah. Oh, you wanted
Climate
it that
change.
bad that you gave up everything you wanted. Oh, the things in the walls and the critters that roam around.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Wait a minute. Then why do
Yeah.
people turn to furniture?
Because they coveted their possessions more than life, and so they became their possessions.
Right. For what reason did they take the house to begin with in Act 1? They could have stayed where they were.
No, because the movie just said they had to.
No,
Honestly.
right. But that was the beginning of their slippery slope.
And
He never even read the contract.
why did this guy just build a house to throw people in to make them furniture?
Ask the bank.
Oh man, I don't get
He
it.
hired an actor.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't the bank? Doesn't the bank have representatives?
And wasn't like the guy that built the house? Was he like one of those creepy dudes that the
Super
kid kept
creepy.
seeing?
Super creepy dude.
I thought he
did
was
we ever
supposed to
see
be
him?
Faust.
Ben Schoenbeek.
Faustian, or I thought that's kind of what it was, but
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to be that eccentric billionaire that's always doing for and giving to, but there's something really weird about it.
Well, it's clear that the first vignette is about the concept of, like wanting a higher station in life, which
exploiting poor people.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of the themes in these vignettes are very strange because it's like a cautionary tale about not wanting outside of your station. So it's like, just be happy with the tiny house that you have and be happy with your little life and don't want more than that, because if you want more than that, then you end up being owned by the things that you own. And it's like,
this movie is exactly why there's a strike.
Yeah, kind of a little bit.
This mindset is exactly like legit.
It's very anti-capitalist, which is fine, but then you're espousing anti-capitalist sentiment through the modality of a hyper-capitalist medium, which is cinema. So I find that it falls flat for me if you're going to be critiquing something like capitalism through the medium of one of the most hyper-capitalistic exercises that one can go through. Yeah. It doesn't exactly work.
I get it. I just, that's where they went with the first one. I don't understand the wife. Oh no, excuse me. I do understand the wife, but I don't understand the wife with the lack of attention to the children at a point, because I was thinking she would be the one to kind of snap out of it. Like I thought that would be deeper. But she was just blindly following the husband. Excuse me.
Because she dared to want to make curtains.
Right.
How dare you? Stop desiring extra, you gluttonous pig.
What?
That's kind of like what that's kind of what the story says, is that they are gluttonous pigs that like, that the father is very into the furniture and the fireplace,
Decor.
and the mother is very into the drapes and the decor. So she decides that she's going to use the sewing machine to make more drapes because they weren't allowed to bring any of their stuff into this new house.
Right.
But like but it's kind of like wagging it's kind of like wagging its finger at you, saying like, oh, your hubris will be that you want too much.
Right. Your sins will come for you.
But it's like the mom just wanted to make curtains and the dad just wanted to use the fireplace.
Right. But I get what you're saying now that I'm thinking about it, or now that you're saying it. Her wanting to make curtains is like, be happy that you already have curtains. Why are you making more?
But there were
curtains. She didn't. There were no curtains in the new house.
Yeah.
See, that's why I'm confused. Like,
I thought there were.
That's
okay.
No.
That's why I felt like maybe I'm too stupid to get this movie, because I'm like, I don't really get any of the themes that they're trying to push on me here.
See, I thought there were curtains.
I thought it was some kind of evil spirit shit going on, because nothing.
I for sure thought that was where we were headed.
Right, because I didn't get any kind of underlying themes or messages, except the fact that there was a lot of reconstruction stuff going on, because first the house gets built, secondly, the remodel, and then thirdly, whatever that was, whatever that third one was, I don't even know, turned into a houseboat or whatever. But
you called it.
I mean, all right. Oh, you know what? All right, whatever. Okay. I kind of just I watched it just to get through it.
I think he just gave up on it.
And
I gave up on a review of it too.
The main crux of the film is that owning things makes you miserable. So just don't own anything.
Don't own nothing. Yeah. He who has not worries not.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it goes back to that you'll own nothing and be happy about it.
Kind of, a little bit.
Man, fuck all that.
I know.
Hey, you know the new one, right? Build Back Better.
Right? Yeah.
Oh man.
Just ask Nelly how that's going.
I can't. Well.
Mm-hmm.
Oprah's already got most of the land. She's just gonna buy up the rest of it now. So... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't say that.
We are talking about the house.
This is a movie review channel.
My bad. I keep forgetting sometimes.
No, it was my fault. I started
it. All I heard was Build Back Better, and I thought
I started singing shoot.
Man.
So why did the builder turn them into furniture?
So here's the deal. What I gather from the first one, the builder, he is more of an entity than a being. They only gave us a visualization at some point to kind of satisfy the consumer, right?
I don't know.
But I view that first situation, it's more of the bank. I'll explain. None of this started until after the senior members of the father's family came. They were all kind of pish-posh rich and had this air about themselves.
Were they?
Oh yeah. The way they were.
I just thought they were buttholes.
Oh no, that's for sure. But assumedly, they had to come out to the countryside to visit their nephew and his children and his family and his newborn, because that's the family tradition. But he ain't made shit of himself, just like his father didn't, because his father was a drunkard, and they, being his siblings, feel away about it. So right after they leave and they feel away about everything that's going on, he gets all of these opportunities. Those opportunities only came because of desperation. And that's where I understand where we all were thinking, hey, this has to be like an evil spirit type of a deal. Like he made a deal with a demon or a devil or something like that, right? But
yeah,
that's where the false desire comes in too, where it's like you just had the opportunity to better yourself, but was it worth what you have to give up? Because he didn't have to work for anything. And what typically happens to people who are given everything they want?
Happiness?
Hell no, not once.
Oh, my bad.
At least not according to lore. Excuse me. Not in real life, maybe.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. If somebody gave me everything I ever wanted, I don't know that I'd be unhappy. I don't know. I gotta live through it to figure that out.
Well, I think that's what this movie is kind of like. Nick was saying, it's a cautionary tale, and for those who want to pursue greater, here are the perils. You'll become so infatuated with the things that were given to you that you'll want to do more, and that's going to drag you into this deep dark hole. I understand why Nick doesn't like this movie.
Don't want anything.
Straight up.
Yeah. I mean, and it's a message coming from people who are millionaires,
right?
Telling us as audience members we shouldn't want things because our wanting things is destroying the world.
Well, and watch this. Go back to the father in Act 1 wanting his fireplace and everything, right? Didn't he have a fireplace already?
Yeah, he did.
So what did he like? And that's why I was saying, like, he wanted something like you, and I think you also referenced this, Nick. Just wanting what everybody else was looking up for. He had nothing else. He already had everything he wanted in life. So them giving him the vision, the look of it all, because that's what he was waiting for. That's the only thing he was missing, is everybody else being satisfied with what they saw. He had everything he wanted already. Healthy babies, beautiful wife, fireplace, a little bit of whiskey to sip on. What else could that man want in this situation?
A bigger house.
Only when
free
it's offered to
food,
him for free. He didn't have to work.
Servants.
What servants? You saw anybody?
Yeah.
Where?
They were all creepy.
That's fair.
Sawing in different rooms and stuff.
Right.
That is a fair point.
Somebody was cooking the food because the wife wasn't.
But do you get what I'm saying? I think that's the crazy part, is they were hard workers. They earned everything they had, and when they were given everything, they simply stopped working. They stopped working for it.
But why the wife then? The wife didn't do anything wrong. I can understand that the husband was too ambitious for his own good and he wanted to keep up with the Joneses, but the wife didn't want any of that.
I mean, she didn't keep him in check. She didn't pull his card.
She's a wife. She's not supposed to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whoa.
She ain't supposed to throw up the flag of balance at the house.
She's supposed to say something, but she ain't necessarily got to. It depends on the relationship dynamic that they have. But I don't know, man.
I mean, this is a 2022 flick. Last time I checked in 2022, it's 50-50. No.
the time period in which the movie, the scene takes place, though, is not that, though.
You know what? Maybe this is what England looks like in 2022. We don't know.
I do.
I ain't never been.
I ain't
never
been there, but
after watching this.
I FaceTime enough.
I don't want to see those little creepy yarn people.
Hey, man, after watching those creepy yarn
I've done enough FaceTiming and whatnot to see the countryside, to see how they living. They living like us.
Hey, look, I'm just going to say, I've met enough people from UK and over on that side of town to where if you were to say creepy yarn people, I guarantee you they'd be like, oh, that's this country over here. I guarantee.
Oh, that would just be them deflecting with their beady little eyes.
Oh, I thought it was Canadians when you said people. Make it. South Park told us those were the head yappers.
Nah, you think of Canadians.
That's what I said.
Oh, my bad.
See, look at you. Now you're just being wrong. We're going to stop talking about it again.
So then, like, the little girl and her daughter and her little sister, they're orphaned, right?
Yes, they are orphaned.
Okay, cool.
Happy ending.
Super uplifting.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to end. You leave the children without parents.
Right, because so the state can take care of them.
Hey,
there we go.
The way
that's a happy ending after all.
Jesus Christ.
That made me sad.
Yeah. That made me an angry panda.
It's just like Wallace and Gromit and Black Mirror had a baby, and I don't like it.
Big true.
I mean, yeah, it did. The first act really left me. All three of these acts left me confused, but combination of them all made me go, "Oh, okay."
So
Nope.
yeah, because
Nope.
I'm ready to move on to the next scene because
Mhm.
we can't explain. We don't know why they turned into furniture. We don't know why he exactly burned
They coveted
all
their
their.
belongings.
But why does that turn you into furniture?
By whom also is turning them into the furniture? They've just wore these stupid outfits, and then in the next scene, they're a full-on chaise lounge and drapes.
Right.
Right. I was thinking like, well, this is like the Emperor's new clothes. They don't see what
Not
they
quite.
wearing.
I guess.
Yeah, original with what they were wearing. Yeah, it was exactly that.
All right.
Stupid.
Agreed. Because I know in like this in the second scene, which I'm going to just move right along to, I was pretty convinced that dude was crazy.
The rat
The
contractor.
rat contractor.
Yeah, I was pretty convinced that he was crazy before it even came out that he was crazy. I was like, well, wait a minute, is this dude
Well, so
having
wait.
delusions?
This is why it's important to end the first one actually where it actually ends. So it starts with the helper being what is he, bewildered, like he basically is driven crazy, right? Then the parents, we find out, are turned into furniture, which in my opinion would be the same thing as them losing their mind and being driven crazy. And then the girls get out. Then you get to him, and yes, he does come off as crazy, but I immediately am thinking, if it has anything to do with this house or Mr. Van Schoenbeek or whatever the hell that is, then that's a part of the mode. Like that's what's going on here. And if we're being honest, everybody in this movie seems, or all the characters seem a little mad.
I guess, except for the third act, really doesn't do any of that.
Oh, she seems nuts.
I mean, she's not. Well, I
Not
won't
really.
get into it. No, she's not. She's just living with a whole bunch of hippies who don't pull their weight.
Oh well, no,
Right.
that part's
Hippies.
granted, but she's obsessive. Now, I'm not arguing none of that other part. Now, the beginning of it, yeah, but later on, we do realize she's super obsessive. She's the cat lady, literally.
Yeah. Well, anyways, let's stick to the second
Okay, yeah,
one.
which is
right.
Sorry.
So the rat contractor, he's flipping this house, and he's doing all of the repairs, and he's being an entrepreneur, which is his first sin.
Right.
And he wants to make a profit off of flipping this house, which is his second sin. And so the movie is now telling us he's an evil capitalist that needs to be checked because he's going to make money off of his labor. And you can't do that. You're not allowed to make money off of your labor.
Right.
You're supposed to share your labor. And so he ends up sharing his labor, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, let's start. He's doing all his repairs. He gets infested with fur beetles.
And I initially seen when they first showed those beetles, those little roaches or whatever they was in the very first part, I was like, this is gonna be about that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was the first thing I thought when I seen them first crawling up. This is gonna be all about that. Then when I was
see, it's juxtaposed against the very fine and sort of lavish remodel that he did to the house. See, he put on all of these really expensive marbles and all this craftsmanship, and he did a really hard work. But see, the thing is that underneath the veneer of extravagance is a rotten core that is infested with bugs. And so that's just a critique of our overall system, is this this facade of opulence when underneath is a cesspool of decrepity. Super deep, man. Super deep, really stuff that makes you think. Jesus.
Oh man, let's do some finger snaps.
I must honestly say, I am always elated when Nick loves a movie the way he loves this movie.
I hate when people think that they're being more clever than they are.
Look, nobody smugs like you, brother. Nobody. I'm always glad to be on this side of it too. Like, dig in. Tell them.
Yep.
But, because honestly, the second act was, to me, it was just wrong, right? First off, you had and then I had to think about it in hindsight on the end of it. The initial thought, I see a contractor who's working hard and nothing's going his way. And then you're gonna infest his home that he's trying to flip. And then nobody's gonna appreciate this home that he's trying to flip. And then you have fucking squatters.
Right.
Listen, I burned
Now,
this thing
see-
to the ground.
Before we even get to the squatters, can we get to the disrespectful people that was just
Who signed
Showed
up
up
for an open house?
For open house.
and just
never-
tracking
bruh,
mud through the
I've been to
carpet?
multiple open houses. That shit, you cannot do that at an open house.
Hell no,
No.
you can't.
And then like trying to back out of the room as he's telling you about all the fixtures and stuff. Like he's doing his job, and he takes
Right.
he takes like a lot of pride
lot
in
of
the
pride in
fact
it.
I thought he was doing a good job, personally,
he was.
except for the bugs.
I'm
Except
gonna
for
say
the
he was
bugs.
a lazy contractor, if we're being honest. But he was doing.
Well,
a
we
great
don't
job.
really know that because we know he ended up having to fire the people to do the job himself.
True.
We
That's
understand that, and he put together the house. Everything did
That's
work.
true. Everything was his. You're right. And you're right. It ain't catch on fire. He even burnt the little pellet down in the back. I thought that was gonna catch the house on fire.
I thought that was the most reckless thing I ever did see.
Yeah, but that shows
that
that
was
not
pretty
only.
damn reckless.
Now watch this. That shows not only did he do all the insides and make it all look pretty, he's aware of fire regulations and things like that, so they can have a whole bonfire out there, and it don't affect the property.
Maybe
Yeah,
so.
I think the critique is that he dared to cut some corners, right?
Mhm.
Mhm. I
Because
thought
he
it was
was
gonna be like beef.
because he was talking about how he was talking about whoever he was talking to on the phone, which we find out is his dentist. He was talking about how he saved like $3,000 on something, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, he saved a couple dollars.
Yeah,
Which $3,000 ain't nothing to save when you flipping a house. Put that money
No.
back into the home, brother.
right, right.
Those $3,000 definitely could save you a whole lot of money later.
And so he was calling his dentist sweetheart and honey.
And honey, yeah, I
Yeah.
understand why the police came.
For why?
Yeah, that made sense, but that part didn't.
Did
make
he know
sense,
the
like-
camera was there? Was he trying to pretend like he had a girlfriend the entire time for us?
I
I mean,
I mean,
no, see, this
who's
is the thing.
who's he
I
fronting
think-
for?
I think that even though he put in the work on the home and all of that, and he didn't look as nuts through all of that, I think he was actually kind of off his rocker.
well, yeah, and at one point I thought maybe this was all in his head, and he was
Right.
actually in an asylum.
Yes, it was all a dream.
It was all
Right.
Well, so we see him go and he try. I have a theory for what's happening, but I want to get to the end of it. Then I'll get to my theory. So
Okay.
he ends up having the two squatters. The squatters stay, and they're like, "Oh, you know, those are our family. They stayed here before as well." Like, wait, what the fuck?
We
what
are
do you mean?
very interested in your home.
Extremely interested in your house. I'm like, what the hell? So
At one point, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, so he gets pretty upset about that. He goes and takes out the poison, and he's trying to poison them. Ends up poisoning himself, puts himself in a hospital. If you note the same thing I noted, he didn't talk anymore after that. Even when they got back for the welcome home party, the squatter family is now throwing him a welcome home party, and everything goes in disarray there. Basically, mice are in the house, duh, because this is a story about mice.
Right.
But they turn into mice. and
They're
it
also
reminds me
shaped
that-
like the bugs.
And
Right.
that's what I was gonna say. I the whole time I was like, is this supposed to be the beetle and one of the larvae? Is that what they represent
kind of.
in a different kind of a form?
Yeah. So what I think they represent is also how mice actually infest. Excuse me. He came in as one mouse, and he got the lay of the land. You know, fixed some things up, made it look nice. Remember, they asked him, "How did you insulate? What did you use to insulate?" And he was like, cotton and wool and sticks or whatever the heck he said. And they're like, "Ooh, perfect, excellent, perfect. Oh yes, ooh, very insulated, love it." Ooh. What I gathered was maybe he's a mouse that came to do the recon work and not realizing that that's what he's doing because he's a standalone mouse. He got there by himself. He didn't have a pack with him. And what mice do is, of course, they, because of what they're doing, they're inviting other mice in. And other mice, when his open house, what we saw is an open house because that's how they laid it out. That's just other mice roaming in and out trying to see what's going on, but they're kind of tracking through the situation, messing shit up, right? Then you get to the squatters, the elder mice, the ones that know how to get around, they know how to get down, and they just glad that you found this nice little nest for them to come and fuck up.
Yeah, I agree. I think, but
Okay.
also I think that there's some sort of analogy here for the mice and humanity, right? If the house is Earth, then the mice are what humans do to Earth.
Ooh, okay, Joe Rogan.
That's what
You know
that's what I
what?
mean. Like that's what it is.
Well, I mean, when he did come out of the stove or the oven, it was
Mhm.
down into the dirt for some
Yep.
reason, somehow.
Right.
Because he
That-
dug through the back wall.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. I had a question during this though, which was also, does he own the home? But that's when I got to my second theory of him plausibly just being a mouse, and it's like you can't own anything if you're just a mouse.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but then everybody else is a mouse too, so
Yeah. So it's really, like I said, just other mice coming in and out until the infestation kicks in.
Weren't the police mice
Yeah.
too?
yes.
The police were mice.
So I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna defer to y'all. Y'all smarter than me
none
on,
of it
the-
makes
on this
sense,
whole
so-
movie.
None of it makes sense, if we're being honest. So you kind of got to just run with whichever makes the most sense to you. If that don't make sense, I get it, Contractor mice.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right.
Act 2 should have been called A Day in the Life of a Contractor Mice.
Uh-huh.
Mouse.
Much better name. Oh, no. You have to call it Contractor Mice so that when the infestation in part comes, you can still have that thought process behind, like, why'd they call it mice instead of mouse? Oh, because it was more than one, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
Huh.
I got you. I
just made Act 2 way better than it was. I know.
Mises.
Mises. Shout out Barry Good.
Man, look.
That's funny.
All right, so we can move on to Act 3 then.
Act 3. Act 3.
So
Listen again and seek the sun. So hippies, and more hippies, and a hippie.
Freeloading hippies.
Super freeloading hippies.
Yeah.
I like the ending, but I didn't like the beginning.
Yeah, I'd like the ending more if they decided to not turn their back on the lady that was trying to be responsible.
True.
And build something.
That's the underlying theme, isn't it? People who are
Mhm.
responsible ain't shit.
Well, no, the fact that they're not connected to it. So, yeah, of course, life tells you that people that are responsible ain't shit. That's why most people lose friends, because the moment you get focused on the important shit, people start saying, "Oh, you ain't down with the homies no more." It's like, nah, I don't want to be on my mama couch, bum. But
Right.
I've never had that experience, fortunately. But I've heard these stories a million times. I know.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so this cat owns the house now, and she's trying to there was a flood, and everything is sort of sinking and falling into this flood, and she's trying her hardest to refurbish the house and try to take care of it, and she's trying to let rooms out so that she can make some money and turn it into like an inn, and it's her dream to do so. But the problem is that she's got a whole bunch of hippie cats who don't give a shit about all of the hard work that she's done.
Right.
And they kind of poo-poo her for working so hard on something that's doomed to fail, because the flood is ever increasing and the water is slowly taking over the house.
Right. You basically have Elias, who's the Ja Rule cat, and Jin, who is the Lisa Kudrow cat.
Yeah. And it wasn't about them teaming together to make sure that they stemmed the tide. It was about everybody encouraging her to abandon ship so that she can go sail off into the great unknown.
Be free. Get away from here, Rosa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess there's something to be said about like
landlord.
abandoning things that are holding you down, but then it's just like, all right, but like the thing that's holding her down is a piece of property that she owns. There we go back to this like weird critique of ownership, that it's some sort of like curse. It's very strange.
It's weird. And that's why, honestly, I thought she was a bad landlord for letting them continue to make promises and not follow through. Listen, you got month 1.
Yeah, you
Phil's gotta
can't
get that.
take the floorboards and make your own little damn, dinghy to get out of here. That's fucked up, man.
Right. That was all crazy, and that's why I understood where she was coming from. I think it's interesting to flip it to Cosmo's point of view, who's the cat that came to hang out, and realize that he was making it lighter to float
What?
the house.
Nah, man, he was a hippie, and I don't.
Oh
like
no,
him.
no. I'm
That's
wait.
it.
Hear me out.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not saying it makes sense because the house is concrete, but I'm trying to think that had to be his point of view on it.
Yeah. There's a lot of there's like this conflict between the sort of like square yuppie and the sort of new age hippie, the two philosophies going at each other, where the main cat lady, she's trying to hold on to this place. She's trying to make things
Mhm.
better. And all of her hippie friends are like, man, just let it go, bro.
Let it go.
Just why you worried about it so much? Well, maybe it's the only thing that she owns, and like she wants to care about something.
Man.
It's like, no, man, you're just caring about the wrong things, bro. Just like
Right.
sail off with us. It's
Right.
weird.
Yikes.
Listen to me play my didgeridoo.
Yeah, and my tooth and throat singing.
Man, that would have made me punch him right in the throat. I ain't gonna lie. I even heard that. I was like, I get what that is, but it's you waking me up to that. Pow! Right in the
Yeah.
throat.
He's gonna hit him in the throat chakra.
Man, right in the throat chakra.
Oh man.
Uncalled for in the morning.
Yo, yeah, he woke her up with the man, and she stood there and listened to this dude finish. If you don't pop the hairball out, player, and get on,
Mhm.
the hell is going on? But so yeah, Cosmo comes and he's a traveler with no worries, aka a dirty hippie. And we have nothing against hippies on this channel. We have something against freeloaders on this channel.
Yeah.
Screw you,
He's
hippies.
way more trouble than any of them were up for, but at the same time, he was the one thing that helped everybody get away before shit got dangerous. And that's the part that I don't get. So they were all staying there, but this house was about to be swamped by the flood. I thought people left because it had been flooded. People left because the flood had taken everything around them, and they were like on an island.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and they could have easily worked together to fortify the house in order to keep it from flooding.
I believe that.
There's nothing. I mean, like, this is a cartoon. There are no rules. You
Right.
consciously made a decision that this house was not worth saving.
Yeah,
And
they
I
made
think-
it because they made it like the water is going to rise above the marsh. As you saw, like at the end, it was all the way at the top of the trees.
Right, which is fine. But then you could have put the whole thing on a boat and then had a traveling. I guess that's kind of what they do, but like having a traveling hotel or whatever.
I get what you're saying, though. Yeah, kind of actually put it on an actual stable boat bottom and not just make us think that the basement all of a sudden turns waterproof.
Right.
Because I mean, that's kind of what happens.
Of course it is.
And then it plays the didgeridoo. But yeah, the only thing that I saw Cosmo really do, the two things Cosmo helped with, he made the water clear. Which how'd you make the water clear if we about to float away? And then somehow he insulated the home to make it floatable and turned into a boat, which also made 0 sense. But yep, that was cool. I mean, it was a good idea for Phil's sake, for the movie's sake. It was like, oh man, that was clever. I like that he did that. For anything outside of that, it was like, so what if she had leaned against that initially?
Right.
Like too early, too soon. Like I don't. That's where I'm stuck. That's where I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess this one was the more tolerable one in a certain respect. I can understand the whole concept of like you can't let something sink you that's a lost cause, but then I just feel like, okay, well, you haven't really made a case as to why it is a lost cause, and it seems as though if there were other people serious about it, she wouldn't be so hard up to make the situation better.
Yeah, because it seemed like all she was missing was a little bit of funds to get things right.
And people that cared. None of the people that lived there cared. They all lived there for free.
For free.
Well, I mean, at least Elias gave her some fish to eat so she wouldn't starve.
Can I keep it a bean with you? I'm gonna keep it 5,000 with you. I think that was I guess placebo is going to. I don't think that they were talking about fish. I think he was giving her like something she couldn't use, like.
Or you mean like
It was either sex or drugs.
Oh,
right? That's what I. Okay, yeah. So we on the same page. I was all right
because they cats. You think she needed him to catch a fish for her?
Yes.
I get where you going with that, Mike. Knock it off. Because I could entertain that, but in this moment, it's not even a ballpark. Because
he a man, he's supposed to provide.
I understand. They painted Elias like he was the guy who's just there with nothing going for himself. Like at least with Jen, she was the gardener. She was a planter. She had green thumb. She was also a hippie, but she had the skills and the means to feed other people. He was getting fish, but never mind. We did see Jen eating fish. Okay, so never mind. Maybe he was just giving her real fish, saving her the trouble. I tried to pollute that a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, well, they didn't share her dream, and that's why she was dumb for trying to, take pride in what she had. So
yeah, shame on her for falling in love with this beautiful home that she owns that all people have to do is pitch in on.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Nah, forget it. Just cast it into the ocean and sail away.
Stupid.
And look, when she tell old boy, hey, I should charge you for pitching your tent on my property.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Should. Yeah.
Now, okay, so help me understand. How did she fall through the basement and land in the tent?
She fell through the basement. Oh, yeah. Drugs.
Because the fog was some sort of psychedelic smoke, probably pot, because they're hippies.
Oh.
And I was gonna say, I don't understand where the fog came, why the fog had that effect.
How come I never smoked weed and hallucinated?
That's catnip. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
How come when I smoked weed all them years ago, back before I got right, how come I never hallucinated like everybody else do when they depict people smoking pot?
Because you were never chasing the magic dragon. You were just trying to get high.
Oh, so they was doing something else.
No. I live in Los Angeles, so I have seen plenty of folks. I've seen plenty of people. I don't know. It's so hard to explain. People don't know when to stop.
Right, I get that. Nothing lives like nothing done in excess or something. I don't know. Nothing exceeds like excess. There you go.
They already done did stuff to it to make it whatever it is today. And people just trying to chase something new. They keep going. They try to keep, it's like, oh, well, I've been here before. Now I'm trying to see what the next level look like. You can't get the next level with what you're doing, but they keep going. Next thing you know, they're like, oh, I see things. And it's like, I don't think that's that.
I don't think you think weed is what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that's that.
Because weed don't make you hallucinate.
But
see visions.
Hey, I mean, this movie might change that. But that's what I think that's what they were hinting at as well, Nick, that the fog was psychedelic. And that Cosmo had some level of control over it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was a shaman who was shamanizing.
He was shaman, all right.
It's funny.
And
even though it was an animated cat, I could tell he was white.
Nick said, I sense no soul in
that. Yeah.
Just a whole lot of mayonnaise.
Yep. A lot of cultural tourism happening here.
Oh man.
So if he had to pull some, because when he pulled the sage out, I was like, hold on now.
Yeah. When he's doing Tibetan throat singing and using sage, and yeah, just a whole cornucopia of mysticism.
That was too funny. I brought you a gift. Did he just pull out 2 sticks of sage and light them both at the same time? And then they already went, you know what? And shame on Rosa, but kudos to Rosa. Because as soon as he lit him, she thought, and you outside, ma'am, if you don't move. Second off, good job. Get that man up off your property.
Yep.
Get off my lawn. Say it, Mike.
Man, get off my damn lawn.
But yeah, with that, that's where the last one ends. Her house turns into a boat. Now she got a houseboat that looks more like a house than a boat, and I don't think she can go back into the rooms, or else it's gonna be wet down there.
So was that a helicopter propeller at the top?
It was an impossible cell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not a real cell, but impossible cell.
It was a weather vane.
Was it like a Beyond cell?
No.
Not to be confused with the Beyonce.
Right.
Because everything is that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, it's over, so you don't have to worry about it.
I rebuke all them demons.
The house has disappeared into the fog, into the water, under the bridge, over by the ocean.
None of that.
Say again.
None of that was comprehensible to me. I missed all of what y'all was saying.
Oh, no, I was just making a joke on how far past the end of this movie we are now.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Our review is about to be longer than the movie, so
technically,
not yet.
We need it to be,
yeah.
With that being said, this is pretty much it. So, final thoughts, reviews. We got to the end. The end of it is like the end of every act. It just ended. It never was like comprehensive. So
there was no conclusion. 3. Really, that much? Okay, fair enough.
What would you say, Nick?
I give it a 3.
That's wow.
1 for each vignette, but that's as much as I can give it. Yeah.
I thought you loved this movie.
Oh, yes. No, I didn't really enjoy it at all. I think that it's kind of, it's the animation's grotesque. I think that the stories are a bit sophomoric. If you want something that's a good anthology animated series, just go watch Love, Death, Robots.
Agreed.
Man, that's like a million times better.
Agreed.
So, 3.
Sounds good. Mike?
I gave it a 2.
Nice.
Because I didn't understand what I was really looking at. Like I said, I didn't hate it. I didn't know what I was looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it. You guys made it make more sense than they did.
Yeah, as we usually do.
Yeah. So 2.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, I gave this a 4 or 5.
Wow.
Not because it was good, not because it was good by any means, because it did invoke thought. Like when I really had to sit with like what they were doing, it's like, oh shoot. I mean, this is bad, but okay, that's a concept to run with. And that's pretty much the whole movie. Like every single scene went exactly that way. Like I said, I got to the end of Act 2 and had to double back. Like, oh wait, maybe it's just that he's a mouse and nothing more, nothing less.
You know what? Still better than Project Legion.
Still better than Project Legion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Still better than a lot of movies. This is still better than Empty Man. What are we talking about?
Empty Man. I don't even remember that one.
You weren't around. It's all right. You didn't miss nothing.
No, I'm pretty sure I saw it though.
Oh. Well, you know why you don't remember it? It was empty.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
See how that goes? But yeah, no, I'll get us a solid 4. So we go 2, 3, 4 on the ratings. And again, I'm really just giving it a 4 because I actually understood what they were trying to get accomplished. I'm not quite sure if they even think they got it done, if I'm being totally honest. And I'm still wondering why.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why would you make a movie in the center of the point of all of this is home ownership is bad? What?
Right.
Like, if that don't seem like the most propaganda pushing bullshit I've seen or heard in a long time, I don't know what is.
with a little bit of climate control. I mean, global warming in there, just a
Shit,
little
there's
bit.
probably
And
some
then-
population control in there too, if we think about it.
And now you don't need to wonder why it has 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No, purchase.
Yeah. Or just agenda. And, you know,
Oh yeah, I thought purchase and
It's-
agenda were the same
the,
thing.
the people giving it a 10 are the ones that agree with the sentiment.
Yeah, that's true.
Or maybe it's one of those EID. What is it?
EIEIO.
Right.
I was
one of
thinking
them.
the same thing.
That's
Nick.
old
I was like, what's he
McDonald.
talking about?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
The what is it? EID rating, equity, inclusion, diversity, something like that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. All right, we can leave it.
Yeah. That's what it is, right? EID instead of
Yeah.
DIE.
Well, it's DEI.
Oh,
which
okay.
is, diversity, equity, inclusion. But fun fact, it's also DAY, which is Latin for God. They do that on purpose.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. They like their acronyms. Always
they
be
do.
wary of people who like acronyms. That's usually a bad sign.
Oh man, but Prince was such a great artist.
That wasn't an acronym. That was just a symbol. He's fine.
Right.
Don't worry about him. All right. Well, that
Yeah,
gives
well,
us a
that's-
3,
that's-
I think.
Yeah, that gives us 9 out of 30. That gives us a 3.
Mhm.
Yeah, with that being said, I mean, hey, you know, Sham, so I'm talking about the house, and I'm talking about Mimi in the back. Yeah, this movie, for it to be titled The House, I feel like there definitely could have been like this could have literally just been centered around one house, and they could have made it interesting. I don't know what. I'm still confused on what I watched, if I'm being totally honest. But I had plenty to say about it. Took some things away from it, brought some things back to the channel, and we put them out there for you guys to listen to out here on the Screen Time Continuum on a Wednesday episode. Now it's that time for you to go ahead, take a look at your screen, and check out all the shows we have coming up for you during the week, through the week. The only day we are going to give you off is Monday, and you better be darn lucky we give you Monday off too, because without it, what other day would you be able to make your playlist of all of the shows we have? Everything's right there on your screen. Go ahead and take a look. If you are on our audio platforms only and you have not gotten a chance to hop on over and see what that card looks like or see what the cacophony of shows are, you can look up If Numbers Could Talk, Screen Time Continuum, where you currently are. On Twitch, you can look up Strawberries in Coffee and King_of_Ilion. You can look up on all of your other platforms, just like Screen Time Continuum, If Numbers Could Talk, Exofathom, and also This Married Moment. One more time, If Numbers Could Talk, Screen Time Continuum, Exofathom, This Married Moment, Twitch, Strawberries and Coffee, and King_of_Ilion. We appreciate you right here at the Screen Time Continuum. Thanks for hanging out. For the Screen Time Continuum, my name is Keelan.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Mike.
We appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out.
Like and subscribe. Like and
Please
subscribe.
like and subscribe.
Disgusting.
Don't come by
Look
my
at
house.
their beady little faces. It's
Right.
like, oh God. Ugh.
But I like
Can't-
it, sir.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
God.
have some
Nightmare
porridge?
feel.